For decades, superhero films were dominated by male characters, with women often sidelined as sidekicks, love interests, or damsels in distress. But the landscape has shifted, and female superheroes are no longer in the shadows. From Mary Jane and Peggy Carter to Black Widow and Captain Marvel, women have taken the superhero scene by storm. In the 1940s, Wonder Woman became a symbol of female strength in comic books. But on screen, female heroes struggled to break through. Early attempts, like the 1970s Wonder Woman TV series, showed potential, but couldn't reach the same level as today. Elsewhere, women were still seen as side characters, with the most popular woman characters only being popular because they were conventionally attractive. In fact, in the whole 20th century, only 2 woman-led superhero movies ever exceeded a budget of $20 million, which was below average at the time. The movies were namely Supergirl and Tank Girl, both of which underperformed at the box office. In the 2000s, female superheroes like Black Widow began to take on more significant roles. Although still in the shadow of their male counterparts, they were independent and not seen as a love interest to the main hero. While this was a big step, in most movies, these women heroes were still overlooked. This is why Wonder Woman 2017 was so groundbreaking. The first of many female-led superhero movies to gain critical success. Becoming the highest-grossing film of the summer, it smashed many records and proved many skeptics wrong. Many people have claimed this movie was the biggest step women have taken in the industry, and the director of the movie has openly claimed that Wonder Woman is the perfect woman.
I think the coolest opportunity with Wonder Woman is that she is the archetypal ideal of the greatest woman of all time. She's not a certain kind of woman. She's not any smaller than that, you know? She's not a specific woman of only a certain kind. She is the idealized universal woman, not unlike what Superman is to men, you know? Superman is the great hero, you know? That's who he is, that's what he stands for. He stands for good and triumph and vulnerability and having a sense of humor, but wanting to be great and all of those things. Wonder Woman is the one and only version of that for women. And I think the thing that's so unique about her, and that was both instilled in Marston's original work and also beautifully celebrated by the show and Linda Carter, is that she wasn't compromised for her strength. And that was something very, very, very new when it was first written, and continued to be new and continues to be new now.
Since this movie, we have also continued to see more strong female characters be more prominent in other superhero movies, such as the fierce Dora Milaje from Black Panther and the Wasp from Ant-Man. Taking inspiration from the success of Wonder Woman 2017, Marvel released Captain Marvel in 2019. It cost a whopping $152 million to make, and it did not disappoint. It became the only female-led superhero movie to gross over $1 billion, and it remains that way. In the blockbuster hit, Avengers Endgame, it was clear that Captain Marvel was not just some side character, but probably the most powerful person on the screen at any given time. While the other heroes struggled through the hordes of enemies, she blasted them down with relative ease. However, while Captain Marvel did a lot for women in superhero movies, did she do more bad than good? Captain Marvel did do well with the average fans, but superhero enthusiasts were far from pleased. They claimed that the movie is average and boring, and that the character had ruined Marvel forever. The critics highlighted the main issue with female superheroes in recent times. They claim that they are too powerful and unrelatable. Studios are too nervous to underrepresent women in their films, that they make them overly powerful compared to the rest, with no discernible weakness. Their characters are bland and have no trials and tribulations to overcome, which is essential in the classic hero cycle. These complaints were unfortunately reinforced When in 2020 DC released Wonder Woman 1984, it was touted as one of the worst DC films of all time, and the star, Gal Gadot, was heavily slandered for her dry performance and unconvincing emotions. So, at the end of the day, with regards to women, superhero movies have made leaps and bounds since its inception, but it is not there quite yet. Studios need to strike a balance between underrepresentation and overpowered generic superheroes. They need to create in-depth heroes who can inspire its audience with their bravery and grit, and not just their sheer power.